installing the underwater lighting package.
Well, guys, it's time to assemble your wall. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, it's actually very simple. There's 3 elements to each seam. You've got a right side, a left side, and then there's a brace that's going to go back behind. Now, what you're holding there is the fastener. You've got 2 washers. All you have to make sure of is there's a washer on each side.
Okay.
You tighten it down with this wing nut, and once we have them all hand tightened, we'll go back around and make our final tweaking, okay?
All right.
All right. Now, let me show you these braces. Hydro pulls has thought of everything. First of all, they come in pairs, which have to be separated out. But once they're separated out, let me show you what you've got. You've got everything you need right here. And the best thing to do is to try to keep them together as much as possible. Have you ever been putting something together and all of a sudden you can't find where did that nut go or where did that bolt go? Everything's right here, okay?
Right.
Once this sets into place and fastens into the wall, then we take off this stake, it fits down in this slot, and then the 2 pins to drive it into place and hold it are right there. They go right in those holes, okay?
Cool. Okay.
So you keep all this together until you're absolutely ready to use it and you never have to look for anything.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Wonderful.
Want to put it together?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Just to one side. There you are.
We can align it.
Yep. I'll watch the edge here.
See, I think that one on your left has to come up. There we go.
How's that look?
That's good.
That's
Good.
Get the first one. Yes.
Do that.
Okay, got it started. That's good enough for now. And we got to come forward with the bottom. No.
Coming to you. A little more.
That's
there.
good. Got it.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay. What do you think, Jenny? Not too bad, right?
Easy.
Kind of like putting together a toy.
I can handle it.
A great big toy.
With the pre-assembly work completed, we begin placing the wall panels into position. The panels are assembled along the string lines that we laid out earlier. As the panels are installed, we check the level of each one and make minor grading adjustments where it's necessary. With the wall panels in place, we install the aluminum coping. The coping is the topmost part of the pool, and it's where the pool liner will attach. Using the self-tapping screws provided, we secure the coping to the wall panels starting at the ends of each piece of coping and every 8 inches along the length of the coping. When installing the straight coping, we need to be sure the coping joints do not line up with any of the panel joints except at the junction of straight and pre-shaped coping. When we have completed the coping installation, we snap the coping clips over all of the coping joints. The final part of the wall panel puzzle is the step. We follow the manufacturer's recommendation on support for the step. With the panel and step clamped tightly together, we drill holes through the panel holes into the step flange. Use the same mounting hardware as the rest of the wall panels to secure the panels and braces to the step. In this pool installation, we're using a side-mounted step that requires very little excavation beyond the overdig. Many pool layouts place the steps at the end or the center of the pool. Additional excavation may be necessary depending on the location of your pool steps.
Okay, that wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
Not at all.
Now, we're standing down here in the deep end of the pool, and this is actually in pool talk called the hopper, but it really gives you an idea of the scale of this thing, doesn't it?
It's really big.
It is big.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. Well, now that the walls are in place, the next important step is that we align them and level them. You want to do that?
We're ready.
Okay, watch the level line. There you go.
To check the alignment of the wall panels, we'll need to check the diagonal measurements across the pool at both the top and bottom of the panels and verify that they are the same. Level all panels so that the top of the panel is level with the benchmark set at the start of construction. Then we check all panels for vertical alignment using a carpenter's level on the face of the panel. We check all straight walls for horizontal alignment. To do this, we stretch a string the entire length of each straight wall at the bottom of the panel, ensuring that each panel lines up with the string.
Now, we should be good.
You lined up? All right, let's try the pins. All right.
A little hammer.
Your foot against.
That's it.
There you go. Sorry.
Right.
Good job.
Okay, Jenny. The walls are aligned. They're all level. Now all we need to do is drive some rebar in around the bottoms of the wall. And what that does is where you're standing is going to be filled with concrete, so that's going to be quite a bit of weight. The rebar helps hold the wall in place. But keep in mind, as you drive it in, you want about 4 inches to be exposed above it. That way, when we pour the concrete in, it forms around the top of that rebar and really gives you a nice tight bond, okay?
Okay.
So there's a pre-drilled hole. You got a 2-foot section of rebar there. Just drive it in. That's good.
She got it. All right.
Now you see what I mean? Once the concrete is all in this area, it'll actually get around that top that you left up on the rebar.
Okay.
Hold everything into place so these walls aren't going anywhere, all right?
Right.
It's time to pour concrete. It's going to get a little messy. You ready?
All right, we're ready.
Okay, let's do this. When we come back, we'll dive into our pool's plumbing system, pour some concrete, and we'll shape these floors. Stick around. Making a Splash will be right back. And we're making great progress on the installation of our in-ground pool here at the home of Mark and Jenny Wendell. But they wanted to make this a do-it-yourself project, and as we go along, they're learning that they actually can do much of the work themselves.
We need to locate the hopper and main drain in the deep end of the pool. We refer to the hopper location in the dig dimension drawing and begin by stretching parallel strings from the break point to the end wall. This will give us the sides of the hopper. Then we locate the front and back of the hopper pad by stretching strings between the sidewalls of the pool. We find the finish grade of the hopper by using our laser level or by dropping a plumb bob at the intersection of the strings to the proper depth. We drive a stake into each corner of the hopper and run a string between the stakes to indicate the exact position and finish grade.
Now this form around me is built out of 1x4 lumber and its dimensions are 6x8. The reason we put this form here is to hold the main drain into place. Once we have the form built, we run a string right across the center of it. That helps us to center our main drain, and then you've got a line that will go out to the filtration system that runs up and underneath the wall. Once we get all this set, we're ready to fill this area with concrete, holds the drain in place, and then we can start putting concrete around the edges.
The main drain form will be filled with concrete when the wall system footer is poured. This will give the bottom of the pool a smooth, durable surface for the liner to sit on. We'll leave the main drain faceplate and gaskets off until the liner is installed.
Now, there are several ways to put concrete in a hole. Obviously, the most labor-intensive is to take a wheelbarrow, pour the concrete in, mix it there, and pour it in small increments. But that would be a lot of work on a project like this. Also, if you have room, you can just back the concrete truck in, have him pour it into the hole, and then spread it out as need be. But we didn't want to mess up the landscaping, so we've come up with a third solution that'll solve both those problems. So to solve the problem of messing up the landscaping and getting plenty of material where we need it, we brought in a concrete truck, which we're going to leave on the street. All of the concrete gets dumped into a pump. You turn the pump on, and it runs down this hose into the pool area. You get the material where you want it in the right amount. It's just like using a garden hose, and you can keep moving along. It's great for working in tight spaces, and when they leave, you can't even tell that they've been here.
The concrete used for the footers should be rated at 3,000 pounds per square inch. You should check your local building code to make sure you are in compliance. The concrete should be poured a minimum of 6 inches thick, with a slight slope away from the panel for drainage and the width of the overdig. The concrete is poured slowly to prevent forcing the walls out of alignment. After the concrete is in place, we recheck all panels for proper alignment using a string line. When pouring concrete under the step, we make sure the concrete touches the underside of the first tread for proper support.
There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Now, Jenny, you're probably wondering why I just had you cut a 3-inch hole in the side of your swimming pool, right?
Right.
Well, this is going to be for the return, and the returns are going to be along this wall, but basically there's 2 areas where the water's going to leave the pool, the main drain and the skimmer, okay? That takes care of the deep end and the surface. It's going to go through the pump, it's going to go through the filtration system, and then it has to return to the swimming pool, and that's what we're installing now.
Okay.
Okay? So you take this piece,
all right,
and I'll feed this piece through to you. Just screw it on there.